never late.
Thursday night, 8 p.m., live, episode 15, the Larrys, Larry P., two-time Stanley Cup champion, Lawrence Herb Melnick, and directing this epic, Clint.
Hello!
Who apparently has an announcement.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that you've been saying my last name wrong this entire time.
Unbeknownst to me, he's no longer Jessica's brother or relation or whatever, and he wants to go by the name now Clint Bell.
Yeah, well, it's even though it's spelt wrong, but it's technically Bell.
Well,
sounds like a ding dong.
I thought you were my friends.
Clint, it's technically be all, okay?
Or be us.
Be all.
Be all you can be.
That's right.
Gents?
But no, it's technically Bell.
Larry? Oh, there's the bell.
PBR hidden with a chaser of
oh, you got your Caesar.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Look at me.
Oh,
Look at
here
me.
we go. Clint's got the PBR.
I want to make you proud.
PBR.
Oh, cheers.
Nay, nay.
But don't forget, you don't want to walk too far. You got to have the cooler beers on ice, PBRs on ice, okay?
Billy.
Billy.
House. Hello, gents.
What's up, Billy?
Contratidiac.
Willie Contratidiac is in the house again. So, Lawrence, what's up? What's going on?
Everything good here, South Florida. The cool weather has subsided for a bit. Back to a balmy 78 today.
Oh,
and things have dried out, so we will hit the links most likely on Saturday.
So the
and
women.
This is not a Philadelphia Eagle. This is a Hawk's Nest logo. So, Tony Long, what's up, partner?
Hello, Tony. The LPGA is down in Bradenton, Florida, 80 degrees. They're wearing the skimpy summer dresses, etc.
We like it.
I don't really watch the LPGA too much. Nay.
Nay.
No. Nay. What's going on with you? You're retired? You're living the life? Looks like a fresh bomb in the hair. Glasses are off. You look very, very youthful.
I've got the Armani. It's a zip up 3/4 neck, whatever. You can call it a
cardigan again.
Pardon?
Not the cardigan again.
Oh, it's a sweater. Yeah, so. Let me start off with a rant already. It's been -8, which for you guys is probably I don't know, 3 or 4 below, 3 or 4 degrees below, right? You're 30.
32 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, 32. Well, it's below 32, which is about 0, which is for us -8, 9 at night. Oof. I've actually turned the heat on, but here's the. If the women weren't in the house, I would not turn the heat on. But Matt Bolsey.
Is it Bolsey or Buse?
We're going to call him Ballsy. So I've had to turn the heat on in certain rooms because the women get cold and they're frigid and frail. But here's the kicker. I've lived in New York. I've lived in Boston. I've lived in big cities. Vancouver has to be the stupidest drivers. And we've talked about this. They must be the stupidest effing people I've ever seen on the roads. We've had probably 4 days out of the last 2 or 3 weeks of snow. People will drive on the roads with snow on their windshields, on the front, on the back, on the sides. how do you see out your windows, you stupid people?
When you come here, I'll take you on a ride on I-95, and you will see how locals transport their belongings. Mattresses fall out of the back seat, patio furniture, there's debris all over the friggin' road. The drivers are horrible. There's road rage. So probably the two worst areas, South Florida and Vancouver.
How many people in Florida?
There's Dade Flower Palm Beach is over 3 million.
Then so there's
the Palm Beach's Treasure Coast. So
there's big areas, probably 2 million, 2.5 million here in Vancouver. When it snows, how can you see out your window? So the point I'm trying to make again, Lawrence, is 150 tickets plus were given to these stupid idiots that can't see, because the police, they got nothing better to do than stop people that can't see out their windshields. Like, there's nothing else going on in the world. There's no bullshit.
You.
Pardon?
They stop you, don't they?
That's in the summertime when you did. That's just bullshit. That was nothing. But so 150 plus people, probably 200, probably 300. They're undermining, underscoring, whatever. It's $110 a ticket because you can't see out your goddamn window. Like, are you that stupid? So that's what we're dealing with.
Snow.
We have snow. And people can't drive. People can't drive when it's dry out, as you've just alluded to in Florida.
Bad drivers.
Very bad. So that's okay, next.
Clint, didn't we, I guess because of the bad weather, Larry was able to navigate his way home the other night. Fortunately, Rochelle took your key. And fortunately, this is you leaving Earl's. He's leaving Earl's. 2-time Stanley Cup champion goes into that. Oh, wow!
Hey, that's the 11th concussion right there.
Your concussion number 11. But you were safe. There was no snow on the windshield.
No.
And you got home. You left Earl's and you got home in one piece.
I can honestly say that that looks like France, Germany, somewhere in Europe, because they have the cobblestones. But I can honestly say, and I'm going there because it's my birthday month. I'm turning 65 this month, as we know, as everybody knows.
Billy.
I hope. Yeah, thanks. That was you, Willie. That was you that did that. You and Neshin.
It slipped right there. Look, good move.
That's hey.
Was that Rochelle with you? Or
that guy got sliced a little bit on. He's got some stitches. I guarantee it.
This was maybe this was in Ottawa. It was or Quebec. It looked like.
Hey, Clint. Hey, Clint.
The trash can knocked him out.
No, Clint, Jessica's brother.
Yes.
You don't, when you're drunk, you don't walk with your hands in your pocket. It throws your balance off. You got to have the hands to the side so you're walking. Okay, just to let you know, Clint.
That's actually great advice.
Yeah, it is great advice.
Yeah.
He's filled with he's just a plethora of information, this man.
Yeah.
It's not just let's get to a little hockey, all right? It's been very interesting, little Ranger happenings. We'll get to this one in a second, but 400th career win for Jonathan Quick with Sunday's victory over the Golden Knights at the Garden. First American-born goaltender to do so. Congratulations. JT Miller's back, which is a good thing. Should help Mika. But starting to see some finger pointing last week. Not a lot of urgency for a team that's on the bubble for the playoffs. Here's some of the top guys last week, and now Edstrom is out 2.5 to 3.5 months with a lower body injury. So it continues to go on the saga. Having said that, Krider's late shorthanded goal propels back-to-back comeback victories for the Blue Shirts. Last night, a huge win. First the Bruins at the Garden. Rangers now 26, 23-4, sitting in 6th place in the Metropolitan Division with 56 points. Pittsburgh next tomorrow at home. And we're going to see what happens now with the upcoming trade deadline. But we're going to miss Edstrom. And I don't know. Finger pointing. Mika's got to come around, and I don't know how much longer Laviolette's going to be there.
Well, Lawrence, so they made a trade for JT, obviously. And I think I had mentioned a week or two ago that he was too opinionated, too strong, too boisterous in the dressing room, upset the little soft guys that were in the room, you know, that type of bullshit. And that was confirmed by, I think it was named Brad Richardson, who played briefly for Vancouver. And again, I don't watch hockey, Willie and Matthew and all the guys, but I know a lot. And I talked to some people, like Pedersen's making 11 million. He's 27. They're going to get rid of the old guy that's supposedly causing the bullshit, which to me is being an ultimate leader. He should have probably been the captain instead of Quinn Hughes, but Quinn is up and coming. So you give him a boost because he's going to win maybe 4 or 5 Norrises. So what do you do? Like JT goes to here's the thing. And I'm going to piss some people off by this one. I would never, ever take a European ahead of an American or a Canadian. Ever.
I agree. They're soft. In most cases.
And you've got an argument. You've got an argument with Yeri Curry, who I played with, and Ovechkin and some, you know, but in general, they will just go back to they come here, they bust their balls in most circumstances, but they go back and that's it. So what was the point of the conversation, Lawrence? JT Miller gets traded. Edstrom, never even heard of the guy. Don't know. Jonathan Quick, great stat for him. I didn't know that. I would have put Beezer and Ryan Miller up there in wins for American goalies.
Great career. And it's a very crucial point. They're only 3 points, I guess, out of 4th place, but they're 2, I think, ahead of the Islanders, and you got the shit Flyers. So we'll see what transpires there. A little baseball note here. Pete Alonso stays a New York Met, signs a 2-year deal. This is fabulous news for Met fans. And another little baseball nugget on behalf of the worst organization in sports, your shit Florida Marlins. Now listen to this new saga. Marlins are getting sued over dog urine in a wild lawsuit. Apparently, this fan did not have a pissing good time at the park. As per the New York Post, the Marlins and the city of Miami are being sued by one fan for allegedly slipping on dog urine during the team's Bark at the Park event last year at Lone Depot Park. The barking mad fan is looking for $50,000 and a jury trial. You can't make this shit or piss up. Only one organization in sports could this possibly happen.
Unbelievable. Sorry. Good on Alonso. Is a 40 home run guy with 88 RBIs worth $27 million a year?
He's the heart of the team. He had an off year last year, but with Lindor and some of the offseason acquisitions, the big one, coming over from the Yankees, they needed to have him. He's the heart of the team. He's familiar with the Met fans, Citi Field. They love him, and it's the right thing. So I'm glad he's back.
No, I'm all for loyalty, and for like the JT Miller, Krider. Sorry, get back to hockey now again, but that Cheadle kid. I don't watch hockey, but I might have had a glimpse of how he played in his first game.
He did.
That freaking kid has talent. Like, are you kidding me? But he's not going to play in New York, right? So now he moved. How old is he? 25, 26? I don't even know. So you trade a 31-year-old making 8.5 for a Cheadle that's making I don't know, 2 or 3 with the talent he's got. Holy cripe.
No. It's you know better than anybody. It's a tough place to play. And Billy Kay, I am a Yankee fan as well, but we'll give the Mets a little shout out here because spring training opens up in a couple of weeks, and Pete Alonso is a fellow Florida Gator, and I'm glad he's back.
Yeah. So, sorry, Krider, did you see the goal he scored to win the game against? So you got 3 organizations: Boston. Who did they just play? Boston, the Rangers,
they beat Vegas, and they beat
Tampa. What is it? Sorry?
They beat Boston last night. They beat Vegas. Come back on, I guess, Monday.
3 organizations. You put Vancouver in there. You put Tampa in there that they've underachieved this year. But you see the goal that Krider scored, and you're shitting on that kid. He scores from that angle with 2 or 3 people in front of the net. Like you
Shorthand.
That's a disgrace if they trade him. Anyways, okay.
You've been cooking this week?
So we mentioned a little bit about, and Clint, Jessica's brother, loves the Beaver Rub. Okay. Loves the Beaver Rub. So I got to bring my glasses out because I kind of wrote some stuff down. So now I made the buffalo chicken creamy pasta yesterday, but I added something from Australia because we have some people that are watching from Australia. It's called Shit the Bed hot sauce.
Wow.
Shit the Bed hot sauce is wildly, so after the women drink the Dickens cider because they love the Dickens cider, they're going to put this shit and hot sauce.
Where do you find these products?
What's that?
Where do you find these products?
It just comes to me. People text me, like the Billy Neshens and Willie Contratidiacs and everybody. They just text me, message me. $44 for a jar of the shit and hot sauce. You throw that on some along with Frank's buffalo hot sauce. To die for.
You're eating well.
To die for.
My concern for you, with the Beaver Rub, this could be a big tariff. Could be slapped on that Beaver Rub, Labatt's, and quite frankly, you, Lawrence Joseph Melnick. Rumor has it Billy Kay might have to start up a GoFundMe page, because if that tariff goes through, you're going to have to subsidize me and Clint Bell. Furthermore, rumor has it you and your buddy Krushelniski got that Beaver Rub around pretty good in the Back Bay.
Mike and I, as 2 Ukrainians in the day, as 20-year-olds, I think we did okay. Like it wasn't. What's the point, Lawrence? Like, come on.
You were 20. You were out and about.
We were 20. We went in Boston when we were 20, 21 years old. I think it was in Saugus, which is a suburb of Boston. I think the name of the bar / discotheque / whatever you want to call it in the 80s was number 1. It was 5 floors on the first floor was a country bar. On the second floor was a rock bar. On the third floor was a blues bar. It was probably the greatest bar I've ever been at. Is that what you're getting at, Lawrence? Because we didn't always go to the nudie bars.
I didn't know you. I didn't know your habits back in 1982. You left.
What do you think? What do you think a 22-year-old kid was going to do?
$100 signing bonus by Harry Sinden. You went out, you shot the load in one night. You told me you went to the strip clubs. I'm sure you were casking flagging. You were at some of the other joints. I did it. I was at the Mug Ale House in Rye. I went to a couple strip clubs back in the day, but that was part of our DNA.
That's what we did. And it was so much fun. And we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't go to jail. We weren't accused of anything. It was just nice, compliant, fun.
Well, why'd they chase you out of Hershey?
Do you want to know the story about Hershey?
Yes.
Right now? Where did that come from out of your head?
Hershey. I do some show prep.
Okay. So last night I had a few PBRs.
I don't know what out of Hershey. I'm just throwing it out at you.
Okay. So I'm in the Boston organization for 3 years. Krushelnicki, myself, Ray Bork, Brad McCrimmon, we're all drafted by Keith Crowder. We have a good freaking team. They're slowly starting to bring guys in like myself. And well, obviously Ray won Rookie of the Year in 1980, his first year, 79-80. Brad McCrimmon. So Harry Sinden, I was kind of the odd guy out. I was the seventh defenseman, like I was for basically my whole career. And I had to deal with it. So they send me down to Hershey. Jeff Courtnall's down there. Jeff eventually, once he got out of Boston, scored 40, made $5 million a year. Krushelnicki goes to Edmonton, wins 5 Stanley Cups. Everybody that got out of Boston did okay. So one of the ways I had told Harry on a couple of occasions, I said, Harry, get me the hell out of here. If you're not going to play me, they brought in, after they drafted me and Bork and McCrimmon, Randy Hillier as well, they brought in as free agents Guy Lapointe and Schoenfeld, Jimmy Schoenfeld. Great guys. Obviously, yeah, at the end of their career, obviously very good players. Guy Lapointe, the big three in Montreal, Schoenfeld, really good guys, treated me well, but where's that put me on the outs? So I'm in Hershey. We're playing in Adirondack. We have an 8-hour bus ride. It's after the game. Joey Kosher and Bob Probert, and we played against those guys. We walk across the street. I don't remember what happened in the game. Don't give a shit. I hated being down in the minors on the bus. So we go across the street to a pizza place. We order pizza. We have beers. We're sitting there. We take our beers and our pizza onto the bus, whilst the bus driver is having beers and pizza with us. Our bus driver is drinking while we're sitting there. And we're getting ready for an 8-hour drive through the Adirondacks, which is not a straight highway. It's not like Saskatchewan or Montana where you can go 100 miles an hour and see for 40 miles. You can see your dog running away in Montana for 40 miles. So we're going through the Adirondacks with a bus driver that's had a few beers. And that's the way it was back then. People drank. So I'm with Brad Palmer, who was a first-round draft pick of the Minnesota North Stars. Brad and I are friends to this day. He lives in Victoria, right across on the island. And we're playing crib. And the bus driver, we're swerving a little bit. We're going through the mountains. And Brad puked before every game. Sorry, Brad, I had to tell you. He puked before every hockey game. That's how nervous he got. And we all got nervous because
Clint pukes before every show.
I could imagine, because he doesn't know what shit's going to come out of my mouth. So anyways, Palmy, he pukes. He's a nervous Nelly, great guy. Have a beer with him, and he can tell stories. He hung out with Barry Peterson and Borky and all those guys for a couple of years in Boston as well. So we're playing crib, and Brad says, Mel, tell the bus driver to slow down. I'm going to throw up on the bus. I said, okay, bus driver, please slow down. Nothing. Keep going. We're winding through Brad, we're going through the mountains. Just play the fucking crib game. I'm beating you as usual. You owe me $20 US, not Canadian. And he says, Mel, tell the bus driver to slow down. I said, okay, Bussy, slow it down. Doesn't. Bussy, no, nothing. So a couple miles more and we're winding again, and Brad pukes. I said, hey, bus driver, we got some problems back here. Slow the fucking bus down. And I threw a beer can at him. Empty beer can. Yeah, once. Then I did it again. Twice. Where's the ding? Thank you. Then the coach stands up. he's at the front. I'm always in the same spot, about 8 or 9 rows back on the right-hand side. Palmy's always 8 or 9 rows on the left-hand side. And Gary Innes, the coach, stands up. He says, Melnick, if you throw one more or you say one more fucking word, you're out of here. We're on the bus for 6 hours from Hershey Pit. What are you going to do, Gary? I threw one at him. So now we got ourselves a little bit of a problem because we got another 6 hours, whatever.
So that ended your career in Boston.
That was the end of my career in Boston. The next morning, Frank Mathers, who was in Hershey for 60 years, he was the general manager. He comes in, he tells me to come in, and he says, Larry, we're going to have to suspend you for conduct unbecoming. I said, Frank, and we're going to have to suspend you with no pay. Well, Frank, I'm making $17,000, which equates to about, $500 a month. I don't really give a shit. Tell Harry Sinden to fucking trade me right now. 3 days later, I get traded to Edmonton and won 2 cups.
Yeah. Things happen.
Oh, wow.
Great story. Things happen for a reason.
You had to cause the shit. You had to cause the shit. I'm not a big enough name or tough enough or whatever to have this type of turmoil follow me, but it does. You want me to tell you about some of the casinos I've been at that I've been kicked out of? Crazy stories. Anyways, next. That's how I got out of Boston.
Why would that surprise me?
Exactly.
When you come down here, there'll be another new establishment in Florida. I was just reading now. They're actually breaking ground at the Villages for a brand new Hooters. This residential community is already the VD capital of the state. Now you'll see more swingers traveling to Central Florida to this community, which is about an hour and a half northwest of here. So they got the gold shovel. They'll bring the Hooters babes in, and various vixens and trollops and rummies will drive in from Orlando.
Okay, Lawrence, I've visited probably every one of those Hooters that has ever been anywhere. They had 1 or 2 in Vancouver. I was at one of them in Florida. They've all gone belly up. They've all gone under. Canada
They closed a bunch of them. You're right, but for whatever reason, this community now, where you're provided a golf cart and it's all self-contained, they're putting one in. I read the same thing a few months ago. They're all closing. There's still a few open. Mel likes the wings.
So, okay, Willie Kontratidiak, let me tell you a little story. A buddy of mine who played in Germany comes back to Vancouver. We go to Florida and we go to Hooters. We go there one night and I'm with my wife and he's with his wife, and we go and the girls in Florida are pretty good looking. So anyways, I mentioned, so maybe this is a Friday night, and I said to my wife on Saturday morning, I said, I think we're going to go back and have it's the best clam chowder I've ever tasted in my life. And I said to my wife, Rochelle, who's my first wife, and I said, we're going to go back to Hooters tonight. She said, over my fucking dead body, you're going back to Hooters again. So that was.
You lived in Boston, and Hooters is the best clam chowder?
No, I was in Florida.
Oh,
I don't remember ever going to Hooters in Boston.
No,
but I
remember legal seafood and just all the restaurant. I would think your clam chowder in Boston would surpass that might be in a Hooters restaurant, whether it's in Vegas or Florida or what have you.
So we lived because I got called up and down. I was always, like I said, the 7th defenseman. We lived in the Sonesta Hotel. They had the best clam chowder I've ever eaten, ever.
There you go.
Sonesta, it was a walking distance to the garden, the old garden back in the day. So.
Very nice.
So Hooters, so my uncle, I don't know, it's a family trait. I guess we like to have our beers. We like to go to restaurants. So I think my son was 2 and my wife had to go to work or had to go do some dutiful stuff. And I said, okay, I'll look after Carter. He's 2 and I go with my uncle and we go to Hooters. And we have the chicken wings and we have the soup and My wife found out about that as well.
Oh, Rochelle, nay.
Nay. It's not good. So when we're in Vegas,
Did you throw a beer can at her?
No, we're in Vegas. We're not going to any of those establishments. Okay, Lawrence? I don't need any more of that. Okay. That's when we were young.
In the event I just happen to be in Vegas the same time you are, we won't go to the Hooters, which actually has a hotel.
Yeah, we're going to go to some nice establishments, not high end. We don't need to do the $80 steaks. We just a couple of PBRs, maybe a nacho, a chicken wing, easy peasy. Happy birthday. That's it.
Happy birthday, Larry Melnick, February 21st. Happy birthday, Larry P., February 28th.
There you go. So
happy birthday, Clint, March 10th.
Happy birthday, Clint Bell, March 10th. 3 birthdays, the trifecta of birthdays.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. I didn't realize that.
Mr. BL, Mr. BL, we'll have a shooter in your honor.
All of a sudden, he's Mr. Bell.
Thank you.
Well, Clint, we just got to cue it up. One of our favorite features with yours truly over here.
Oh,
the spew that came out of their mouth at that night at the Garden against the Penguins only rivals what you might hear out of some individuals on the left today. But I defer to you, my friend, in regard to any additional grievances you shared with drivers.
I talked about the snow. I really don't have I'm retired. It'll be 2.5 months. I'm looking forward to Vegas. I'm looking forward to Phoenix, and that's it. I don't have a grievance. I'm just so easygoing. It's just ridiculous.
You seem like you're very laid back as of late. You got the calendar, the big calendar. You got your events. You had your Hooters, your beer. You're very relaxed. The glasses are off. You got the $2 gel in the hair. Look at that poster boy.
Yeah. No, things are good. I don't want for nothing. It's all good.
Okay. Well, Clint goes into his archives again. I don't know where he finds this shit. But
what the hell is that?
Where's the main stage?
I was
SNL.
I was at the Second City in Chicago a few years ago.
Oh,
it was probably the 14th Scotch. No grievances here this week, but I want to, and I could speak on behalf of Billy, Tony. One of my favorite motion pictures of all time. It was one of the greatest ever. Godfather 1 and 2. But great scene here. Here's Tessio. Pete, can you help me? For old time's sake. I'm sorry, Sally. Only the Godfather can. Don Melnick, what can I do? Get me Luca Brasi. I'll have him make that fucking jabroni an offer he can't refuse.
Oh, the fucking jabroni. No kidding, eh? Way to go, Clint. Be all. That's from
you look good in the bow tie and the tux.
Yeah, it's not my real hair though. You know that. You can see that's been a little dyed. That's been a little dyed on the side there.
You talking about in real life or back in the movie?
No, in this movie, they dyed my hair a little bit, right? You can see that on
you get that gel at the superstore.
No, Walmart, dippity doo. $2.10.
Don Melnick, Godfather.
Yeah.
Clint, there's also been another controversy in old places, Las Vegas, with these ice girls. Now, for whatever reason, there's been complaints. I don't know why. I don't know what the title is, but the girls would come out at the stoppages, shovel the ice, what have you. And there's been some resistance, but more reasons to root for the Golden Knights. And hopefully when we're there, you will have contacted George McPhee. I hope you have the phone in your little man satchel purse and the big calendar, and you were able to get us tickets.
I have not made that call. because you're coming in at 8:00 the Friday night, if we're going to get up, have a little breakfast, probably have a Bloody Mary at 9:00 in the morning, by 7:00 to go watch a hockey game, not in my repertoire.
I'll be happy to go to the Sphere and watch the Eagles.
So that is, and we talked about that today. I have not been to the Sphere.
Eagles are playing Saturday night.
Really?
I think we're going to have to break into your pension check.
Oh,
Tickets are a little pricey, but for 65th birthday, live it up.
seriously? Okay, I didn't know that. I've never been to the Sphere. That's on my go-to list. The Wynn Hotel is on my go-to list. I want to walk in, if possible, or break in to the Wynn golf course just to see why people have to pay $1,250 to play the Wynn golf course, or whatever that golf course is called. Did you know that?
Used to be the Desert Inn, but they actually have that course right in the back. Mel's going to flash the cup rings to get into. Oh, he always does.
No, when I used to have, like, again, when I go to the bar with my grandfather and my dad, my uncles and everybody, they'd all go to the waitresses. Oh, did you know, like, they're pointing to me, he plays in the NHL. Well, I didn't really play because I was in the American League, but blah, blah, whatever. Now, I don't care what I say to people. I will do whatever I have to do. If the golf course is charging me $300, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is, I'm a senior citizen. That doesn't work. I'm 65. That doesn't work. I played in the NHL. That doesn't work. I'm from Canada. I'm poor. That doesn't work. I'll use everything. I'll use everything. Like, what? They're going to say no. And they say no, so then you pay the full price, right? That's the way it goes.
It's pretty pricey round of golf.
Las Vegas in February when we go, I've got 3 rounds booked already. The most I'm paying is $134, which is reasonable.
It's very reasonable. It's what it costs down here in the season.
Yeah, but 3 or 4 years ago, it was $70. So it's almost double, right?
Everything is here in this country as well, in the U.S., same as Canada.
So I went to Wally Mart the other day. Our eggs for $12 for a dozen is $4.17. What are you paying for eggs a dozen? 8?
Over $10.
Yeah, my eggs are 12.
It's ridiculous.
So that is, we are getting, so everybody just,
I think it's $1 an egg.
stop buying eggs. Stop buying anything that those idiots, they're talking about bird flu. Where the fuck does bird flu come from? They're chickens.
Well, they killed all those chickens with the bird flu. That's what they're blaming it on.
Oh.
But, it's Cracker Barrel now. They're raising the prices. Waffle House, anybody that serves an egg down here. It's become more and more expensive. But you go to the Publix or whatever the grocery chain would be, 10, 11, 12 bucks a dozen.
That is crazy.
A lot of money. Everything's expensive. I got a good feel-good story for you. We sort of touched on it earlier. The biggest ever American TV audience for a hockey game remains the evening rerun of the Miracle on Ice. The game attracted 34.2 million viewers. And who can forget that Al Michaels call?
For a rerun?
Well, they didn't show it live.
You guys didn't see that live?
No.
Oh, shit. Well, I thought the whole world did.
ABC televised it was not live. And again, this was not for the gold medal. This was beating the Russians, which they ultimately did to move on. But
well,
I got 45 years ago. It was February of 80, upstate New York.
That is crazy. So here's another. So I do have, now that you brought that up, I do have a bit of a rant. So I pay $270 for my cable and my whatever to watch. I don't have NHL hockey. I don't pay $150 extra to watch 30 games a night. But there's certain games. I'm in Canada. Do you know who I see the most on all the hockey broadcasts? Just take a guess.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
No. The Boston Bruins.
Why?
Thank you. I don't know.
You're probably getting Nesson on some package.
I don't buy packages. I don't buy NHL. I don't buy anything. So these assholes at Rogers, who is the big supplier, Rogers, Shaw, bought each other, whatever. I get the East. I'll get the Devils. I'll get the Rangers. I'll get Boston. I can't watch Toronto. I can't watch Montreal. And I can't watch, what's the other? Ottawa.
What about Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday?
Different. That is different. But during the week, they won't let me watch the games. So I can't watch a Canadian game, but I can watch Washington. I watch Washington.
And they're on at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
With your time.
4 o'clock.
Well, we'll go to the sports. We'll go to the sports book, and the games will be on at 5, with the exception of the California games or the Western Canada.
Yeah. So let me finish with this. I've been cooking. I love eating. I've been drinking. I'm retired for almost 2.5 months, 3 months, but I'm listening to music because that's what I do, and I do a little homework. Pardon?
On the turbo.
On the turbo.
Well, that's your TV, right? The turbo.
Turbo. What? I don't even. Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I don't know what the hell you just said.
I thought that turbo was the network that you're connected to out there.
Oh, no, turbo is Sirius Satellite. That's channel 41. Rage Against the Machine is turbo.
Right. That's your music.
Right. Oh, sorry. No. Okay. Yeah, no. I wasn't listening to that. I wasn't listening to turbo. I was listening to a little band called. Sorry, I wasn't listening, Lawrence. You're absolutely right.
Good. 7 Caesars, 5 PBRs.
Yeah.
Pasta dinner. I'm just glad you showed up on time for the the show tonight.
Well, I try my best. So, anyways, I'm listening to a little bit of music, and Faster Pussycat comes on.
Good.
Yeah, and you know where I'm going with this because they say
take out your Beaver Rub.
Well, no. Slip of the Tongue and I'm in Deep Shit is the name of the song. Good night.
Some quick housekeeping at the end for last call because Clint's putting the kibosh on us.
No comment?
The Larry's podcast is now worldwide. We got viewers, Clint will acknowledge this, in 14 countries. The top 3 viewing markets, ironically, Orlando, Florida, New York City, Toronto. Total views in excess of 53,000 on all platforms since our launch in August. We thank you. We welcome everyone telling their friends to subscribe to the Larrys. And as a friendly reminder from the world of Lawrence Joseph Melnick, drink when you're thirsty, eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired, except when you're in Vegas. And a happy 91st birthday to the great Don Cherry.
Don's the best.
91. Dresses like you.
Yeah. Not quite as good as me, but pretty good.
I can't wait to see you with your duds on in Vegas. The
Thanks.
great, the Billy K, always a class act.
Thanks, Willie.
Gentlemen, enjoy the big game on Sunday.
Good night.
Keep it real.